much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Lil League. Too soon at the marina, that's where the bay meet. Wine in the weed, baby, this world class. Sack to the bay, you know where you gotta pass. 45-minute, sack of Frisco. True player, never go out like get low. Knees still working, shoulder still working. Feet working, feet working. I ain't had a job, but I stay working. Put me in the game, producer I produce. Too much bass in the beat to get through. She treat me like speakers, I got blue. Who am I to say it's the bay? We in the field. Give up your position, tricking you out your wheel. Thumbing through the cheese, steering with my knees. Business, owner, tax, deeds. Got the keys, open up the doors. Home team, this ours. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Lil League. Too soon at the marina, that's where the bay meet, nigga. Hey. I don't think they heard me. I said I got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. 3067 Travis Boulevard, Fairfield, California. Pull up to the stove. Okay. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Lil League. Too soon at the marina, that's where the bay meet. Wine in the weed, baby, this world class. Sack to the bay, you know where you gotta pass. 45-minute. Of Frisco, true player, never go out like get low. Knees still working, shoulder still working. Feet working, feet working. I ain't had a job, but I stay working. Put me in the game, producer I produce. Too much bass in the beat to get through. She treat me like speakers, I got blue. Who am I to say it's the bay? We in the field. Give up your position, tricking you out your wheel. Thumbing through the cheese, steering with my knees. Business, owner, tax, deeds. Got the keys, open up the doors. Home team, this ours. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Lil League. Too soon at the marina, that's where the bay meet, nigga. Hey. I don't think they heard me. I said I got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. 3067 Travis Boulevard, Fairfield, California. Pull up to the stove. Okay. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Lil League. Too soon at the marina, that's where the bay meet. Wine in the weed, baby, this world class. Sack to the bay, you know where you gotta pass. 45-minute, sack of Frisco. True player, never go out like get low. Knees still working, shoulder still working. Feet working, feet working. I ain't had a job, but I stay working. Put me in the game, producer I produce. Too much bass in the beat to get through. She treat me like speakers, I got blue. Who am I to say it's the bay? We in the field. Give up your position, tricking you out your wheel. Thumbing through the cheese, steering with my knees. Business, owner, tax, deeds. Got the keys, open up the doors. Home team, This ours. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field, I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Little League. Soon at the marina, that's where the Bay meet, nigga. Hey. I don't think they heard me. Look, I said I got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Huh? Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. 3067 Travis Boulevard, Fairfield, California. Pull up to the stove. Okay. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field, I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Little League. Soon at the marina, that's where the Bay meet. Wine in the weed, baby, this world class. Sack to the Bay, you know where you gotta pass. 45 minute to sack a Frisco. True player, never go out like get low. Knees still working, shoulders still working. Feet working, feet working. I ain't had a job, but I stay working. Put me in the game, producer, I produce. Too much bass in the beat to get through. She treat me like speakers, I got blue. Who am I to say it's the Bay? We in the field. Give up your position, tricking you out your wheel. Thumbing through the cheese, steering with my knees. Business, owner, tax, deeds. Got the keys, open up the doors. Home team, this ours. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field, I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Little League. Soon at the marina, that's where the Bay meet, nigga. Hey. I don't think they heard me. Look, I said I got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Huh? Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. 3067 Travis Boulevard, Fairfield, California. Pull up to the stove. Okay. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall.
The 5, man.
Live from the field, number 25. We in the building.
We out here.
CEO Nico here with D-Lo, a.k.a.
Dutch.
a.k.a.
Dev Lee.
a.k.a.
That nigga Dev.
Okay, a.k.a.
The Dutch man.
Okay. How many AKAs can one man have?
As many as Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, we here live from field number 25. We're here on Tuesday. This is Tuesday, the 17th. We appreciate everybody who's tapping in, who's in the chat, tuned in. We got kind of a late start, but if y'all follow us, I'm sure y'all used to that by now, right? So I don't know if I got to say that every single time. Man.
We all know about Nico P time.
Right. Okay. So 25 Tuesday. They just had game 5 of the finals yesterday. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. OKC won it. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Out of me, you, and Cheese predictions, looking like I'm about spot on right about now, buddy. I said everything. I should have told Choose to bet. I don't know if OKC won by +10 yesterday, but I should have told him to bet because I said if game 5 they was gonna blow them out. The game was kind of close. It was kind of like in and out, but I still won by double digits. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they?
I believe they did win by like 11.
Yeah,
11 or 12.
Okay, so according to my predictions, Initially we was all wrong because I said 4-1 from the no, I didn't. Did I say 4-1? I don't think I said 4-1.
I think you said
Uh,
4-2.
maybe I gotta look back.
You said 4. I think you said 4-2.
4-2 from the beginning.
But you said you and chose.
No, I
you and
don't say
chose-
but anything because not but is anything. Everything I have is on spot on right now, so not but anything. But what?
You're talking about they're going to go on a four game winning streak for them to win the championship.
No,
That's
I didn't. Then I
believe you did. Say
then
that.
I must have said 4-1 then.
It was after they won.
Nah.
They won the game in game 2.
Nah, it's incorrect. Sorry. The first game, I thought it was gonna be a sweep. I thought it was gonna be a sweep. Maybe I said maybe 4-1. That was maybe from the beginning. But after Indiana won game 1, I said 4-2 from that point because I said Indiana. I said they're gonna win another one.
But I believe you did say they're not gonna win anymore. That's what I'm trying to remember. I remember correctly. You told me they're not gonna win anymore after game 1.
Nah, I said 4-2. I knew they was gonna win another game. They was gonna win one at home.
I remember asking you. I said that you said they're gonna go 4 straight. Yes, we did say that.
No,
yes,
that wasn't me that said that. Chu said 4
that.
straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he said 4-1.
Okay.
I said 4-2 because I knew Indiana was gonna win one more.
I just didn't believe that they gonna win 4 straight. Either team.
Either team. You don't think so?
Either team can win 4 straight against each other. No, impossible for either team to do that.
All right. Yeah, 4 straight is kind of a tall task. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But my prediction is looking a whole lot good right now. When I said after game 1, everybody's gonna be watching the finals, and it's looking like everyone's still watching the finals.
I was kind of in and out with it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm not gonna lie. I only watched the first quarter. I had to go to class, and then by the time I got to class, the game was over. I kind of assumed. I got home. I was like, "Oh yeah, they must have won."
Indiana.
OKC. OKC must have won because when I left, they were up by like 7.
Yeah. Okay, so
they kept the momentum rolling, I guess. So
it seems like OKC is kind of. And did you see that they were talking about Halliburton is injured?
Yeah, he's been saying that since game 2. They've been talking about you limping and all that, and So, but at the end of the day, is nobody who makes to the finals are going to be 100%.
True.
That's just guaranteed.
For sure.
You're going to have bumps, bruises, scrapes, everything.
Sure.
It's going to happen. So you just got to play through it. And the team that can get through it, the most is, wins the title.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Oklahoma got some guys banged up over there.
OKC?
Yeah, pretty sure they do.
Yeah.
Chet looked like he always banged up. He looked like he need a sandwich and a milkshake and some Band-Aids.
Shout out to Chet, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. He doing his thing. What is he? Time out. Is this his first year? No, that was last year. No. He was injured, so this is second year.
His second year playing.
But he's 3 years. Yeah, because the first year he was out.
First year he was out the whole year.
That's right. Do you think that he thought? Do you think that he thought? Damn, do you think that he thought? Do you think that he thought that they'd be competing for a championship this quick? I don't think he did.
I don't think anybody in Oklahoma had that on their mind. They wanted. I guarantee they all wanted to be where they're at right now.
Yeah,
but I don't think they thought last year that they would be where they're at right now.
True.
I don't think that. I'm sorry. As great as players are in the NBA. You just know you're like, okay, well, let's try and do this. Let's try, guys. And you hype each other up, and hey, let's do this. Okay, we can get there. We can get there. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
we in this motherfucker. We in it.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they in the finals right now, and
they crept up.
I thought they were going to be a little, too many, lights and cameras for them too much. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But, each team is standing up to that test.
For sure.
I'm just kind of mad with Indiana, whereas I said, from the games that they won, they're not sticking to that game plan. And it's like you got to stick to that game plan, all 48 minutes.
I just don't think they have enough firepower.
They do.
OKC got a lot of firepower.
I just think with OKC, like I was saying about the game, is I'm gonna talk about it again. Is their scrappiness, which I call fouling. That is straight up fouling. That what they do. Every trap, somebody's getting slapped, smacked, prodded or poked. That's just OKC.
Well, it's a physical. I mean, it is the finals. It's physical. What do you want to be? You want to see the refs calling that?
I would like to see the refs calling 78 foul shots. I mean, you know, last game that's
there was 78 foul shots last game?
It was 35 by 35 by Oklahoma and 33 by Indiana.
That's a lot of shots. That ain't 78 though. That's 68.
Well, no, the
35 and 33.
It was okay. I'm trying to remember the disparity number because I was reading it yesterday.
Okay.
My fault.
Maybe it's 45 to 33.
Yeah, but I know they had Indiana. I mean, Oklahoma had a lot more shots and free throws than
which is somewhat expected though, because they were playing at home.
And then there's something else that popped up that I want to talk about that goes with the finals. So there was a referee back in 2007 that went to prison for betting on games.
Okay. His
best friend is still a referee, and he has been in the finals these past games. He's been
reffing?
Yes.
What's the ref's name? Which one? Chat, let us know. Who you talking about?
Yeah, y'all go ahead, you know, so I don't have to keep looking at my phone. Y'all look it up for us, please. Thank you. Just
anyhow, we is 3-2. They're going back to Indiana. My prediction is they're gonna OKC gonna win in Indiana. NBA getting enough money. They're gonna get that last piece of Indiana money out there.
Yeah, Timothy Francis Donahue was the ref that got caught up, but not Joey Crawford. What is his name?
Definitely not. Scott Foster.
Scott Foster.
Scott Foster.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, Scott Foster.
Well, you're not necessarily guilty by association just because that was your friend.
Yeah, it is Scott Foster.
Just because that was your friend, you can't necessarily call him guilty by association. I don't think that's fair.
But in the day is when you start watching these games, they're trying to say once again that the games are rigged again. Because like it's talking about the last they're going by which is basically the last minute of the third quarter and all the fourth quarter. They're talking about how the momentum has been changing in these games, and that's all we'll say from what I read is due to refs callings on calls, and that when you look back at things, you're like, okay, well, you know what, the push off should have been a push off, and more likely it'd have been 3-1, and then it'd be 3 if they won, you know, regularly it'd been 3-2 still, you know. Now it was 2-2, it'd been, you know, but it'd been 3-1. Which I believe, yes, refereeing has a lot to do with it, and the consistency I don't believe in with the refs. It's never has been consistent calls.
There's always gonna be what ifs. Michael Jordan's was a push off then. Same thing.
He guided him.
see how the
Shot Gilchrist, Blake, he pushed so hard he tripped his own self.
See, that's how the story changes over the amount of years. If you're a Utah fan, you probably still think he got pushed. But I think that a missed call here and there, man. When they're playing, man. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't go against that one. I ain't gonna lie. They're playing physical. I'd rather them play. Okay, but you're saying that it's based upon the foul calls. That is being rigged. I'd rather let them play. I'd rather no call than a call there.
I'd rather let them play, but at the same time is if you're letting them play, and all of a sudden you do one call on one end, and then don't do the same foul call on the other end, that's not letting them play.
Yeah,
and that's true. That's what you see that it is consistent in the NBA.
True.
All the time. You get the same foul call on each end, but only one's being called on one end.
Okay, that's fair.
And that just like I said, kind of like makes the league look shady in a way to me. You're like looking at the league like, damn, you know what? Should I bet on the game now? You know?
Yeah. Okay, so what's your prediction for what's that game? That was game 5, game 6. What you think? You think OKC pulling it off or what? I think OKC pulling it off.
Indiana
get those bets in.
Indiana got a little. I'm still talking about 7. Still talking about 7 because they're going back. They're going back to Indiana. So Indiana, this is Indiana. They don't want to just stay home. They want to go to Oklahoma.
All right. So you saying Indiana gonna win Game 6?
Indiana win Game 6.
Okay. I say OKC gonna win Game 6. It's gonna be a tight game, but OKC gonna pull it off and raise the championship trophy. So y'all tune in. What next game is probably what's today? Tuesday?
Next game was Friday.
Nah, it can't be Friday. Probably Wednesday or Thursday.
No, remember they're going back to Indiana.
It's been like 2 or 3 days between.
3 days. So 3 days. So it'll be like Friday.
Nah, they definitely ain't playing again Friday. That's crazy.
Thursday or Friday?
Probably Thursday. They should play Wednesday, but probably Thursday. So yeah, I got OKC winning it Game 6 in Thursday at 5:30. I got OKC winning it Game 6 at Indiana to win the trophy, SGA Finals MVP, and on to the next year. D'Lo has Game 6 going to the Pacers. So y'all let us know in the chat. We're gonna clip this for show and put it up, and we're gonna get everybody's opinions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so moving on from that, I was sitting at home this weekend, and it's Saturday morning, trying to see what's going on. But what's been popping up is the Big Three been popping up, right? Ice Cube's basketball league, the Big Three, because I've been hearing a lot of talks about that, like the Michael Beasley going against Lance Stevenson. They played for like 100 bands or something, I think.
Dwight Howard back on state grounds.
Yeah, so I was watching I think this was the first week of it, and shout out to Ice Cube because he's been sticking with it. I think they said this is like the 8th season. I could be wrong. Yeah, did they say it was the 8th season?
I remember like
8 years. There's no way they're going by years.
Seasons.
They might have done 2 seasons in a year because I don't remember it being around for 8 years. If so, 8 years has flown by. So let's check that out. Big Three. If Big Three been around for 8 years, man, salute to Ice Cube, man. I can't lie to you. Because damn, what happened? The blue thing is on. How they be doing that every now and then? I wonder why.
The blue light's on.
Is it back on again? So probably back live again. Yeah, I think we should be back on now.
Technical difficulties.
A little technical difficulties, but we were talking about the Big Three, and I was trying to figure out if the Big Three been around for 8 years. If they've been around for 8 years, man, shout out to Ice Cube, man, because they definitely are withstanding the test of time. And Cube, who is he can't wait to say my favorite rapper of all time. Kind of resembles Ice Cube.
Yeah, shout out Cube, man. Three. I met him in 2005 at the Warriors Sacramento Kings game, man. Shout out Cube.
2017. Damn, 8 years.
Long time right there.
There we go.
Doing his thing.
Damn. There we go. Debuted in 2017.
Keeping former players' longevity still going. Jamal Crawford, you need to be playing the Big Three.
I feel like he played in it already. No?
I just feel like Jamal Crawford is still 20 years old.
Yeah. Shout out to Ice Cube, man. That you know what that's called? That's called willpower. That's called determination. That's called consistency. That's called not giving a what anybody has to say. That's called sticking with your gut. You know what I mean?
And he went with something that, unfortunately, like The Rock doing the football thing, which is for some reason
XFL, yeah,
it just didn't stay at all. But the shout out to the Q for keeping this basketball thing alive. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm liking that.
I believe that. Yeah. So going into this season, so we was watching the games, and like Michael Beasley, like we said, Dwight Howard, Lance Stevenson, and I was watching the game, and there was like 3 fights in the first game. And they was like every shot that went in, they was talking stuff to each other. I've never seen it be like that much.
It's not the NBA anymore. This the big 3 league. You can say as much as you want to each other and go from there. And I still haven't seen any fines or anything or what's going on or with the disciplinary things is happening from these fights.
Yeah, for sure. So this is
Tuesday. This is Tuesday. This happened Saturday.
So this leads me to believe. Do you think that it is all? I'm not gonna say scripted, but it's all part of the thing to get more viewers, for excitement, for it ain't nothing for them to be like, hey, just toss someone's songs. Hey, Dwight Howard, toss Lance Stevenson into the crowd so we can get people talking. What you think?
I don't think that's something that Cube would do. I don't. That's something.
He makes movies.
That's something Vince McMahon would do.
That's what I was about to say. It's like basketball wrestling.
This is not. Yeah,
it's like basketball wrestling.
He is not Vince McMahon at all.
I wouldn't put it. It ain't nothing. It ain't that far different from like how the ABA was. So we're gonna make it kind of look like the ABA.
So
you see what I'm saying?
The ABA wasn't that bad back in the day, even though they had a lot of niggas fighting back in the day, but it wasn't like all out rumbles, NHL rumbles like that. It wasn't nothing like that. Yes, niggas was fighting back in the day. Niggas was fighting back in the day in the NBA.
They was back in the NBA, true.
They was really,
but it wasn't on TV as much then.
Getting down, they was getting they still got film of people getting their ass.
Yeah, but it wasn't on TV. It wasn't on live TV. It was getting film.
Well, filmed up,
yeah, but it wasn't on live TV. Oh. I don't know what that is. Put the damper in my stuff, man. Back on again. As soon as I come over here, that's irritating.
Wonder why he's just jumping offline.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or if it's the pop-up.
Yeah. Yeah, but
sorry about the technical difficulties. We're gonna get y'all through it. But so you don't think Vince McMahon would do that?
Nah, not at all. That's not. I don't think that's in Q's repertoire to do something like that. Like I know he's trying to get some ratings and all that, but I believe that his company and the people that are playing are his product that he wants to put out. Not no Vince McMahon slam you in the ground and drop elbows on you type shit. I don't think that's what he wants to, wants it to be. That's negative. I don't think he wants to bring that kind of negativity to his product.
Okay. Well, like you said,
but it was that negativity was brought to his product on Saturday.
Well, and like you said, there ain't been no fines, ain't been no suspensions, and we only in week 1. So let's see what happens next week. If by the 4th week they got the boxing ring on the side of the basketball court, like, okay, they're just gonna settle it with a 1-on-1 fight. Then we gonna see.
got niggas putting on gloves at halftime.
That's what I'm saying. If we get to that point, then we know.
Then I'll be like, okay, he is Vince McMahon. I will say that then. I'll be like, okay.
Which, truthfully, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think it's that bad. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's that bad adding a little extra oomph to the games and a little bit more. I don't think it's that bad.
Now, growing up, back in the day, watching, old school basketball with fights and all that, like, the Malice at the Palace type things, all that. Like that, right, to me was like the most craziest debacle in basketball I've ever seen in my life.
For sure.
Ever in my life. I didn't see a lot of fights in basketball. Shout out my uncle Marvin Delos Jr. If you know, you know.
That's funny.
But yeah, a lot of fights, on the basketball court.
That's my uncle. I've never been to a game and didn't see him get into it with somebody. Ever.
Or get ejected.
Ever.
Every game we go to at his little thing, he get ejected. Like you ain't making the halftime yet.
That's crazy. That's insane. If I feel like we were just young and we don't remember some parts of it, but I'm pretty sure every game I went to, I think he got ejected.
He was ejected. He for sure was arguing with the refs.
For sure. I mean, I don't think I've been to that many games, but the games I did go to, it was at least a technical involved every game.
Every game.
No matter what.
He sent him to the shower.
That's funny. That is funny.
That's true live shit for real.
So he would have excelled in the big three.
He would. A jump shot.
According to this new big three this year with the rest WWF, the collaboration between the WWE and the big three.
But that has always been a thing for some reason with NBA players. What? Between rapping and wrestling. It's always been like a connection. Always been that connection.
Yeah, true.
Always.
True. I agree with that. There's always some type of
everybody want to be the world heavyweight championship wrestler.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say this. I guess we pose this question. Do you think with like the fighting and the kind of like the physicalness of the big three, will that help them gain a little bit more popularity?
Unfortunately, you have other than black audience that's watching, and I don't think
you don't think that appeals to the black other people that aren't black audience.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So only the black audience. Fighting only appeals to the black audience. Wow.
I'm not trying to just put it out like that, but real talk at the end of the day is, come on now, World Star.
Yeah.
Come on now. I'm not lying on this. I'm keeping it real. Right now.
Well, that's the cameras. Ever since cameras have come into play, cameras always been in play, but when cameras have become disposable and everybody has a camera,
cameras on the game,
fights have changed dramatically.
Cameras on the game right now.
Any type of fight.
Yeah. I watched the damn fight. The dude behind the basket like this. Dwight Howard on the ground.
He's watching the game through his phone.
Through his phone, he's watching it.
That's crazy.
In the fight.
Sometimes I'll be having to break away from that. Sometimes even with sunglasses, which is kind of funny. If I'm somewhere, I got to take my sunglasses off because you really got to take in the proper coloring, the proper of your environment. You feel what I'm saying? You got to take the color and when you're looking at it through a phone, you're not even present so much. You feel what I'm saying? You're not present. You're looking at it through your phone.
Too busy looking.
It's a filter. Phone. It's another filter that you're going through, which was not how life was intended to be. Because if life was intended to be that, we would have been born with phones.
We were born with eyes instead.
Exactly. Right? So, to kind of wrap this up as long as the big three, do we think that the fights and Dwight Howard and these players, Dwight Howard, Lance Stephenson.
Wait, I do want to say this though. Because the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, what were they saying to each other?
Dwight Howard and Lance Stephenson?
Yeah, and then it popped in my head. I was like, Lance Stephenson, like, look, motherfucker. I remember you back when you played for Houston. You was grabbing things.
Oh, come on, man. Here we go.
You was grabbing things. And Dwight Howard said, you know what? You was blowing in LeBron's ear. What was you whispering to him? And then Lance said, you know what? What happened with you and that guy?
Oh,
I mean, her.
On, man.
And then Dwight got mad, and that's when Dwight pushed him.
Come on, man.
I'm just keeping it real.
Come on, man. We don't know what they was talking about, man. All we know is
I was lip reading. That's exactly what he said.
We don't know what happened. We just know they was fighting, man. Someone got thrown into the crowd. That wasn't the only fight. Lance Stephenson damn near took off on somebody earlier in the game.
Oh, he got into it with old player of ours, played for the Warriors.
Okay.
What was his name? Jordan Crawford.
No, that wasn't him.
No, not Jordan Crawford. He was another player that he played a year with us, and he got into it with him, and they're pointing fingers at each other during that, and then the Lance Stephenson fight with Dwight Howard happened.
Yeah, that's all. And I didn't even watch the second game. I ain't gonna lie, but so yeah, shout out to the big three. Shout out to Cube. It was definitely a drama-filled first week, so we're gonna see if they can keep that momentum rolling. They at least got people talking. I don't know. I ain't watching any of the shows or the Stephen A's and see if they was talking about it, but
I'll be watching.
I'm sure they probably did.
I'll be watching PTI later on, but they didn't show it on PTI yesterday, so if they don't talk about it, I wasn't really gonna talk about it. But I love my PTI guys.
Yeah,
that's my informational guys right there.
It didn't reach PTI, which I don't think they would talk. Man, Mike Wilbon might talk about it.
They would actually talk about especially something like that. They talked about the big three before on the show, so
got you.
I'm just surprised that they talk about the fight. And like I said, they're probably not going to talk about the fight because of, like I said, putting negativity into the product. And that's exactly, what I'm saying, I'm getting at. So you see a lot of shows, a lot of things they'll talk about and things they won't talk about, which to us, it'll seem like a bigger issue. Like, hey, why don't you talk about this?
Yeah.
They're talking about something else. Then later on, you're like, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's bad. That's bad publicity. You know, all publicity is not good publicity, especially when you try to promote your product.
There you go. So, kind of rewinding back, we wanted to talk about the draft coming up, NBA draft. Dallas got the #1 pick.
He's being traded.
Who's being traded?
Nico Harris he's gonna do it again.
Nico Harrison?
He's gonna do it again.
He's gonna trade who?
I've already seen all these mock trades that they got going on.
He's gonna trade the #1 pick.
These mock trades are killing me because I literally was on my phone the other day and I was like, wait a minute, who got traded? They're like Devin Booker got traded to Philadelphia.
Devin Booker?
I'm like,
they're not trading Devin Booker.
No, they didn't. They traded Desmond Bane to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I still feel that was. Then I read again something else about Memphis.
Talking about their rebuilding?
No, Stephen A is talking about NBA players don't want to play in Memphis because it's too violent. It's the murder capital.
Damn.
Of the United States.
Damn, that's
and NBA players do not want to play in Memphis. He specifically said Jimmy Butler. And then someone came back and clapped back and said, you know what? Well, Jimmy Butler played in Minnesota, in Chicago when they had all the when they were the murder capital of the world.
He was younger then also too.
Playing with a different type of team.
Yeah,
he's playing with MVP Derrick Rose and all that.
Yeah, I think that that's interesting. That's interesting. Something like that. That's going to lead to in a couple of years them taking that team up out of Memphis and taking them somewhere else. That's what's gonna happen.
Yes.
Which you know what? The only reason that gets brought up though is because of Ja Morant's history of like flashing the thing and all that.
But it was the governor actually spoke that up with no mention of Ja Morant.
Yeah, well, you can't mention them like that.
But you would say, hey, we got players on professional sports teams. That would come up.
Yeah.
But when you specifically say we have murders of just from their gangs and street violence, they have that going on. And I've never been to Memphis, but I've heard a lot about Memphis.
I've never been to Memphis 10. Shout out our other co-host, Choose Up Cheese. He definitely dibbled and dabbled out in the Memphis area, so he could probably speak to that a little bit better than we can. But okay, so the trade, Desmond Bane to they gave up like 4 first-round picks. That's crazy.
For a 6'4" point guard / 2 guard. And to go to Philadelphia.
No, Orlando.
Oh, Orlando, Buffalo. Yeah. But Orlando,
they're trying to make a move. You can't be mad at them, but I don't think that 4 first-round picks was a good move. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But they're a team that probably has a lot more
picks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, they traded Cole Anthony and KCP. I think that could have been a straight up trade. Two KCP and Cole Anthony for Desmond Bane. Run that.
What Charles Barkley say? Cole Anthony the best Anthony in the whole Anthony family.
So going back to the #1 pick with Dallas, you think they're gonna draft Cooper Flag? Obviously,
that's obviously gonna happen.
But are they gonna trade him? Because they've been talking about.
I believe he'll probably be traded before he even gets drafted.
Wow.
That's
traded for who? Giannis? Because that's the only person I would trade him for.
Kevin Durant.
No, I wouldn't trade him for Kevin Durant. That's not a good trade.
You only get Kevin Durant for a year. Giannis probably does not want to go to Dallas.
They're not trading him for Kevin Durant. That's null and void. Sorry about that, buddy.
That rate, unless they get rid of 2 of the big men that they got, which is basically their backups. That to get Giannis, get Cooper Flag. That's all. That's what 6, 7, almost 8 guys, 6, 10 or over.
The advantage of having Cooper Flag is what they were saying is that you're gonna have him on a rookie contract for them first couple of years, so you don't got to spend that money. If you bring in anybody like Giannis or these other players, it's gonna add more money to your salary cap.
Yeah, gonna break bread.
So that's the advantage of that. I was more so am surprised of how Dallas got the #1 pick because they go from making the dumbest trade
the NBA is rigged.
Hit in the last since we can remember, since I've been alive. That's like the most craziest trade since I've been alive I've ever heard, to getting the #1 pick. And I definitely believe that was come on, okay. Well, hey, we're gonna trade him to a bigger market because we need him in LA. and we're gonna give you the number 1 pick.
That's like I said, the league sounds rigged to me. Shady. Shady's on the way.
I wouldn't put it past Adam Silver.
Adam Silver, dead man walking, the Undertaker's brother.
Yeah, for sure.
That dude is he's funny in himself, but I believe something is going on in the league. I've been saying this for a while, but for that to happen, the craziest trade of our lifetime. I thought, for me, seeing Charles Barkley get traded from Philadelphia to Phoenix for 4 players was crazy. I thought that was crazy back in my day. And that was, I remember Tim Perry being one of those players. And I'm like, well, Tim Perry, he was in the dunk competition. But never seen anything with this. But Cooper Flag, I wish him the best coming into the league, but you're not playing for Dallas, brother. It's not gonna happen. it is what it is.
Okay. So is Cooper Flag gonna get traded? I don't think he's gonna get traded.
And Nico will be fired after that.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting traded. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he's gonna be there. They're gonna keep him there. They're gonna try to run it back with Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson. Damn, I don't know if Kyrie Irving gonna play this next season though, because he hurt his thing towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be ready to play this season. But I think he's on an expiring contract though too, so they're gonna have to either cash him out or do something. So it's interesting. Do you think Cooper Flag's gonna make an impact? You said you do earlier.
I believe he'll make an impact, but it's not going to be as big as we think. It's going to be, to me, my opinion, that the 1-year college is good. Give him, competition, but once he hits the league, he's going to find out the competition is a lot harder than in the NBA. So I don't think it's going to be a big impact, but he'll do some things, like a Dalton Connect,
What?
Dalton.
That man, what? I can't believe this.
I'm keeping it real.
Wow, he's comparing Cooper Flag to Dalton Connect. That's where you see this going. That's insane. That's crazy.
But Dalton Connect, he's a good player himself. Once he gets some PT, get some run.
You're gonna go viral. Man compares Cooper Flag to Dalton Connect. What? That was Dalton Connect was he a first round pick? I don't even think he was a first round pick.
I think he was a first round pick. Wrong. I think he was
first round.
First round in the first round.
I think he was first round because Bronny James was like the second round.
He's 55.
Okay. So
Dalton Connect was like 32 or something.
Yeah, I don't second that.
I'm not going by what round of where they were drafted at. I'm going by where they're going to play when they get in the league. Dalton Connect was considered a top good prospect in college. Same thing. Cooper Flag, yes.
Not as Cooper Flag.
Not as much as Cooper Flag, not as much the rave, getting raved on. But like I said, once he gets in the league, he's gonna see the competition is a little bit harder. He's not gonna be able to do as many things that he did in college.
So you compare like
he's gonna find his niche like Cooper like Dalton Connect did.
I can't believe there's 2 people are getting mentioned in the same conversation.
Same sense.
So you telling me this? So what about who we talking about? Chet Holmgren.
I compare him.
You don't think Cooper Flag could be closer to Chet Holmgren? Because Chet Holmgren is obviously getting way more burn than Dalton Connect and having way more impact than Dalton Connect.
He's a way better player than Dalton Connect.
Who?
And he's also
Chet Holmgren. So Cooper Flag is not either.
Like I said, we'll see when he gets in the league. for whatever team he plays for. And Nico, your job is on the line riding on this. You got to make the right decision on what direction you try to bring that team. Because with Dallas, I'm not gonna lie, it just seems like it's up in the air what they want to do. Like even I'm hearing rumors about Klay Thompson going to LA to the Lakers.
Oh yeah,
hearing that they've been talking about Klay leaving since last year.
Yeah, well, he can't leave. He's under contract. He just signed the contract with them.
So they have to trade him. Doesn't mean he won't be traded.
Yeah. I'm saying they have to trade him.
And the way he's been playing for Dallas,
he didn't play that bad.
He didn't play that good either.
What'd you expect him to do? He's old. He's older, bro. Off 2 injuries. What'd you expect him to do? He's really just spot up shooter. You can't expect him to be creating shots and stuff like that.
He needs to make the shots. He made it for us. He needs to make it for them.
Yeah, I feel it.
Because if he doesn't do his job, guess what happens?
He turns into Dalton Connect. No shade to Dalton Connect, man. He in the league. I can't hate on anybody in the league.
He in the league. He ain't doing his thing.
I can't hate on
Like I
anybody
said,
in
when
the
he gets
league.
his run, he making his shots. I was watching him.
Dalton Connect not bad. I ain't hating on him. I just Dalton Connect Cooper Flag.
Like I said, if he
I don't know about that one.
If he went to, wasn't he supposed to be in that trade package for Mark Williams? Wasn't he in that package?
Yeah.
He would have got so much run in
Charlotte.
In Charlotte, he'd got so much run.
Okay, so that you know what
and that would have proved my point of him of how talented of a player he is.
Okay.
And what he can do. He just doesn't get no run coming behind LeBron James and Luka Doncic. He's not gonna get much run.
No, I agree. But what's invaluable is him practicing with them and seeing their workout regimen and how they work out. So that can shape you into a great player later on.
And that's why I said if he went to Carolina, he would have been playing his butt off. Maybe Charlotte would have been in the playoffs.
Okay.
Because I've been looking at certain players where I'm like, I wish certain players would be on a certain team to make that team.
Well, if you haven't, I just saw a clip of LeVar Ball, and he was posting a video. He's going for these Clippers. We right here, Clippers. So basically, he's trying to insinuate this a video of him in the gym with his sons, and he's trying to insinuate that he wants the Clippers to pick up Lonzo Ball and LaMelo Ball.
Meanwhile, the other Ball brother just came on another single.
Yeah, but he was there working out with them too, but he wasn't shooting. He was just passing them the ball. But
he just wants them in LA just to be close to home. True. You know how he is. He wants all of them.
Of course. What dad wouldn't?
But the Ball boys is that's the thing is right now the Ball boys is they're kind of rebelling against Big LeVar. They're rebelling against
I don't think so. Why?
Remember his dad? No tattoos. We're not doing no tattoos. And all of a sudden, I think he's coming. All of them got sleeved up.
Yeah, I think he's come to terms with that. I think he's moved on from that. They grown. You can't. Grown. They millionaires. You can't stop them.
Big Baller Brand is finished.
No, it's not. They was just in the gym in
the Big Baller Brand.
Yes, and the whole gym. The whole gym is Big Baller Brand.
Okay.
They own gym.
In the house.
I don't know if it's in the house. They could have made it. I don't know where it was at.
It's probably in their house.
It's a huge gym. It ain't in their house.
You don't think the boys said, you know what, we gonna get mom and dad a new house with a Big Baller Brand gymnasium in the middle of the house?
In the middle. Could be.
You never know with them. Like they flashy, but they cashy.
I mean, they is from California. All right. So consensus, he said you're getting traded. I said it ain't happening. So we're gonna move on. What other subjects we got? Oh, so did you see the thing about the R. Kelly situation?
R. Kelly overdose.
They said, and wifey had told me about this, and I'm like, what? Overdose off what? And he locked up. What could he overdose off?
Then they try to say that he was that they're trying to murder him or in prison or something like that, like the setup or something to put him, knock him off. They were trying to, I guess, he was on somebody's hit list or something like that. Don't know how that works. You can get enough drugs in your system. I mean, drugs to around to overdose. But at the same time, you're being checked every 15 minutes. So I don't know how, especially in Chicago, how it is with R. Kelly. I know he's PC'd up, so they got to be watching him 24/7. So I don't know how that would work.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it seems kind of suspicious to me.
Right. Kind of a sticky situation. So we just giving you a little bit of info. So we're gonna see how that goes. How do you overdose in solitary? He's in solitary. He's in
PC'd up. PC'd up. He's protective custody. He one of the special ones.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Somebody must have. I don't know.
I don't know how that works out. Like I've never been to jail in Chicago, but my best guess is if you in the cell by yourself, only way you can do something to yourself is tying the bed sheet. That's all I can think of. They're not gonna give you a blade. They're not gonna let you shave anything. So I'm pretty sure his beard is looking nappy. He's I don't know what right now, and his hair is uncombed, naturally nappy right now. And for him to overdose, that's got to be somewhere on the medical side's end to find out what's going on with that. Maybe gave him something that he was allergic to or something, and they're coming out saying that it was a overdose. You never know.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Big blast in the house, man. Big blast in the house. Shout out my cousin Bijan. Hey.
Yeah. So we don't. It's a weird situation that's going on. We don't know.
Suspicious like the NBA reffing.
It's definitely suspicious. So we're just gonna follow that along.
Keep you updated on that one as we find out what's going on.
And so moving on to the Diddy trial, they're saying that the
oh wait, doesn't that make sense? I just thought about that.
What?
The Diddy trial's wrapping up, and then all of a sudden, R. Kelly's overdose.
Right, but it's not necessarily wrapping up. What they're saying is the defense is or the prosecution is wrapping up their thing, and that's about to be the defense
calling their witness.
And so, do you think that Diddy should testify?
For Diddy's case, for his sake, I would say no, he should not.
No,
but at the same time, is you want to get your own words out to tell people what's really going on. But at the end of the day, is the prosecution is going to eat him up alive, and him just being the way from just seeing the sketches, his sketches look sketchy. it looked like even the sketches like he was shaking while the guy was sketching the sketch. Like Diddy was shaking the whole time, Then his mama Janice rolling up in the courtroom. All they talk about is what she's wearing, instead of talking about the Diddy trial. Worried about what the mama's wearing.
Yeah. I haven't really been super paying that much attention to it. But I think that he should go up there and speak his piece. I think it will show a little bit of personalism. My
Sean Combs, explain to me what happened in the hotel in the elevator.
That one
right there. That's it. Boom, right there. You just laugh. Did you?
No, but he's not on. But I'm not on trial for. I'm a human being. Listen. Number one, I'm not trying to defend Diddy in any way, so don't take that as me. We're just giving our opinions on. You know what I mean? And with that being said, he's not being charged for domestic violence.
His behavior is on trial right now, and that's part of his behavior.
Well, your behavior can't be on trial. What you mean? You got to be charged with something.
And
what
that's
they charge them for sex trafficking and stuff like that.
Behavioral things.
Yeah, behavioral things, but pinpointing sex trafficking—that's not sex trafficking. So domestic violence is two different things.
That all leads to what the prosecution is going to be asking. I'm trying to let you know they're going not like all the things that they are. Everything that's been talked about already by these witnesses. You don't think it's going to come up on defense? Like it's going to come up with people whoever's going to be on the defense for Diddy. These same questions are going to arrive. Same questions.
No, they are, but they are going to come up. I just don't know if that leads to him being prosecuted.
And that's what I'm sitting there saying. I don't think he should take the stand at all, because they're gonna, like I said, they would eat him up. Prosecution would eat him up all day. They're gonna ask him all kinds of, just this. That I was just off the head, just thinking about, I'm saying, a question just off the head. Boom.
All right.
Would you agree?
I think it's like with anything, it's 50-50, because it ain't like the world hasn't seen that already, and they might want to hear your basis upon what happened,
why you did it,
why you did it. Hey, I'm human. I made a mistake. I need to seek help in that aspect. But the other stuff that I'm being accused of, it's not it. Sorry.
Personally, now if I was in his position, yes, I would vehemently take the stand. I wouldn't care what nobody said. I'd be like, yes, I was.
Okay, so there you go.
But for him, it's just a lot of. He's just, like I said, he's a sketchy person to begin with. let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
So you already have people's opinion already looking at him crazy already right now. You know what I'm saying? And then the juror that's supposed to be leaking information on top of that too. You hear about that, right?
The juror that's leaking information.
The juror that got let go from the as being a juror.
And
he's supposedly going out talking about the case to people and all that.
No, the juror is leaking information.
Yeah, and the judge is supposed to be looking has that juror under contempt right now. So I think they're supposed to be getting charged or put in jail or something like that, or get a fine or something like that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, gonna be different. A little different obstacles and different things that come up in the trial. I don't know. I was just speaking with someone over the weekend, and I think that Diddy gonna walk out free.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
He's gonna come out dancing out of the
doing the Diddy dance.
Yeah, out of the courtroom. And this is not funny. I'm not trying to be insensitive to anybody of the any victims or you know what I mean.
Jane Doe.
This is just where I truly think he's gonna come out in that dance.
It's up in the air, but it's just a lot of damning evidence that he has against him. And evidence speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Like I know we've all made jokes about this baby oil. We've all made jokes. But that has some kind of hold in this case. Still, in everything I've seen, there's nothing illegal he's doing with the baby oil. It's just the freak off is just you gotta be oiled down.
What are the requirements for the freak off?
You have to be oiled all the way down from head to toe. Head to toe, you have to have baby oil on you. That's why he has so many bottles. You have a lot of people at your house, a lot of baby oil. I get it now, Diddy. I get it. Okay, I get it. Everybody slipping and sliding. Okay, I get it. And I wonder if there was slip and slides in that house. I wonder.
Crazy.
How all that baby oil all over the place. Baby oil stains, man. So you gotta have everything around in the house unless he had a certain room. Hey, we all going to the freak off room. Put your baby oil on. Flip flop some baby oil. in the rhinos. Don't forget your rhinos. I just found out what those are, y'all. I just found out. I'm so slow.
I don't know what rhinos are. Oh. What are rhinos?
I guess they're the same thing as Viagra.
Okay, got you.
But you buy them over the counter at stores.
Got you. All right. So yeah, so that's interesting to look at. Let's see. Is Diddy gonna take the stand or not? He gonna say his piece?
But I believe that Cassie part is gonna be something that's gonna bite him in the ass. Everything. Pretty much,
what the domestic violence situation?
They're not just like you said. They're not controlling with domestic violence, but the thing is, it's just the behavioral part that right there is going to go, especially when you're dealing with somebody who has power and money like that. So,
yeah.
So the trafficking can come up. He can get hit with that. He can. It's there. He's already in trial right now. So so he can be go to be in prison for the rest of his life or some shit like that. And then the next thing you know, Diddy overdose. 2 years later, Diddy would overdose during somebody else's trial.
Diddy overdose. Then we're gonna be talking about. I mean,
it'd be somebody else's trial later on.
Did R. Kelly
Orlando Brown's trial 2 years later from now, and Diddy, they gonna find Diddy. Diddy tried to hang himself. With what? He's in the room, he's in the cell, butt naked with baby oil. He better not order no commissary. He better not order no damn baby oil on commissary. I tell you that.
Did R. Kelly testify in his trial?
I don't remember, but I don't think he did either. And his is just obviously that he didn't. You don't want to have for him to get
yeah,
especially with something like that, sex trafficking, anything dealing with something like that. You don't want to be on the stand for that. I don't think you would.
All All right, so moving on, we're at this is the last topic that I got on my list. If you're obviously familiar with the area, you're familiar with California Forever and all the moves they've been making out here in the area. And it was just announced that California Forever has entered into a reimbursement agreement with Suisun City to explore the potential annexation of approximately 15,740 acres of land owned by the group.
9 times the size of Suisun
City right now. So this agreement ensures that California Forever will fully reimburse the city for costs associated with the annexation process, including staff time, consultant fees, and environmental reviews. If the annexation is approved, California Forever will also provide $10 million in community benefit payments to Suisun City. So
they're trying to just bring in money. They're trying to bring in money over here. I have no idea why we're so hard-headed with not bringing in more money. Granted, yes, it's going to be more and more construction and things of that and building, which can be irritating at times. But it's just bringing in more money, bringing in more revenue for Solano County, just bringing in more revenue, and that's something I believe that we need. I have no problem with California Forever. Now, my fellow politicians, I've talked with a few, but I still have not gotten to the root of why they're so against California Forever. And at first, when I heard about them trying to build around Travis Air Force Base, yes, I was very reluctant about that. Yeah, when Travis Air Force Base is one of the bases in America that does so much and in secrecy. There's a lot that Travis Air Force does, and so no, you don't want to have that around our troops. Where you have drones coming in, and spying on what's going on, things of that nature. You never know, but in the day, it's revenue. If you go other direction, towards Suisun, yeah, let's work with that. And still build, no problem with that. And what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, it like we said earlier with Ice Cube, be persistent. I think they try to do this through Solano County first, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's saying that so they got in Suisun's ear and like, hey, money talks at the end of the day. Money talks at the end of the day, and
we all know Suisun needs some.
Yes, they do. Some money. True, exactly. So I think that if you can't go, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again.
Try again, exactly.
And I'm all for expansion and building because I think that's what's needed for the future. I have children in the area. I live in the area, obviously, so I would like to see more things in the city open up and expand. Obviously, not at the cost of certain things, but I think that's life at the end of the day, So, and we all know California Forever. They're forward thinkers, right? They're built up of a bunch of entrepreneurs,
conglomerate,
and businessmen and businesswomen that have all either probably built their fortune off of being forward thinking, and obviously they see something that they can move on. They see something that they can build upon in this area because they haven't went away
at all.
They have not went away, and sometimes, I mean, I don't know. Not you can't just let somebody come in and run over you, obviously, but opportunity. If not, they're gonna go somewhere else eventually, and then you'll be sitting there looking like, hey, because eventually I'm not gonna be here, you're not gonna be here, and it's gonna be for our kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think there needs to be more expansion, more business, more opportunity for our kids if they're going to be here. You know, I just don't think there's anything wrong with that per se. You know, because like you said, it also brings along jobs, it brings more money, it brings opportunity. That's how you're able to be more resourceful. You're able to be more creative. You know, when you see these things in front of you. You know, that's one thing about us having our store here is, you know, it may not be so much what we bring to the table, but what does it do for the 7-year-old kid to see someone like us with our own store? And it shows to them that they can do it. And who knows where it takes them in their mind? Who knows what it shows my daughters? You know, who knows what it shows your daughter, your children? You know, that your mind has no limits. Your creativity can have no limits. And I think by seeing that and seeing these things, that's how you empower the future. That's how you empower the youth. You don't empower the youth by not having these things and not expanding and not building. And you know, that's not how you empower.
Fairfield, take notes on that one. Taking away the skating rink and bowling alley.
You know, obviously, you know there may have been some factors in of why those things happened, but ultimately, kind of just want to go in a positive manner, be forward thinking, and just building and leaving a legacy for the future generations, right?
Exactly.
And making the city better, bring more money into the city.
That's the whole thing. Gonna need revenue. Gonna need that
for sure.
And building right there, that alone brings in jobs.
For sure.
And then for bringing those people in with those jobs, they're going to spend in our community, of course, you know, for lunches and dinners and all that.
For sure.
So they're going to spend. So that brings in more revenue.
Yes.
So I believe for that, it would be a win-win for all, you know. So I don't oppose California Forever anymore. I don't.
Not at all. Not at all.
I welcome them with open arms for them to, you know, come bring some money for it's 707 out here, man.
707. Yeah. So, you know, shout out to them putting it together with Susoon, and Susoon, you know, trying to put something together too. You know, because it's all about the mark that you leave after you hear, right?
That's real talk.
It's all about the mark that you leave after you hear. So, you know, you shutting stuff down, they're not gonna say, well, they shut this down. They stopped this from happening. People, in your history, in your history books, in your what's that, obituary? They definitely not putting what you stopped happen in your obituary. They definitely ain't putting that. Well, he stopped this from happening. He stopped people from. Man, come on now. They're only gonna talk about what you created, what you helped build, what you know what I mean. So, I think that's the kind of the mind frame that I'm in, and I think everybody here, my cousin, and you know everybody here, my brother here, that's kind of our mind frame, you know. So shout out to them, and we'll see what the future holds. Maybe we get someone from California Forever in here at some point to talk about it and give a little bit more information. So that about wraps it up, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in today.
Thank you very much.
You got anything else you want to say?
Oh man, the UFC. Man, that was Buckley versus the Nigerian Nightmare. That was a crazy fight. And then Thug Rose put on a good fight also. But the Nigerian Nightmare, man, that was for him. Oh, we need to talk about these for the show. We got the at Tommy T's, man, on the 17th, right?
Yep.
July 17th,
why don't
right?
you come on here and talk about it, bro?
July 17th, y'all come to Tommy T's.
Come on here and talk
for the Shanice presents My Money. My money's funny. My money's getting funny.
Whoa.
My money's funny.
Whoa.
Get the laugh. Get the bag.
My money's funny. July 17th. Yeah. I got the tickets. Few people already pulled up and got some. And I'm gonna say it right here. If you spend $100, I'll give you one for free. Come through and spend $100 at the store.
on merch, hats, shirts, sweaters, jackets. Spend $100, I'm gonna give you in there for free. You feel me? So pull up. You heard it here. Clip this thing up.
So explain what it is and the date and everything.
So the event is on Thursday, July 17th. It is a comedy / music show, kind of like a spinoff of Wildin' Out, 106 in Park. So I mean Freestyle Friday, that type of situation. And Shanice, hella funny. She been going around killing stuff. She like one of the top female comics in the area. And we had a powwow and was like, hey, it'd be dope to have a night that's music and laughs. So that's what we did. This is one of many that we starting off. So we need a lot of support on this. You know what I'm saying? Get it off the ground. I am curating the whole music section too. So it's going to not only be me performing, there's going to be a rap battle included. Might be a few other special guests that pop up too. So Thursday, July 17th. Like I said, this is a ticket that'll get you in there. Spend $100 at the store. Fairfoot, I love you store on the merch. I'm going to give you one of these for free. You hear it here right now. And that's what you got to do. Like I said, a few people pulling up and getting the tickets. So they're going to be gone soon enough. So if you pull up, spend $100, this going to be included with you. July 17th. Go to TommyTees.com. Tommy Tees right now, TommyTees.com. You'll see the flyer on July 17th. Tommy Tees is one of the most iconic comedy places in the Bay Area. Louis Belt is going to be there performing this weekend, I believe. Mr. Fab got a night one of these weekends too. So it's basically all the top talent in the Bay. And if you come from anywhere else, come to the Bay, you stopping at Tommy Tees and do your thing. So this iconic, this legendary, super grateful for have this experience. And it's going down. It's going down. Like I said, the music is curated by me, performance by me. I might have that guy pull up. CEO Nico might do his thing. You feel me? He might pull up with me. D-Lo Freak Show might do his thing. You know what I'm saying? D-Lo 707. You is a freestyle king. I ain't gonna cap.
Freestyle king, dog.
Hold on. Damn, you got that hat? How you pull that hat off? Hey, we finna run this hat too. This is the hat he just clearly got. We finna run that hat back soon enough. The corduroy black the field hats is sold out for the time being. The field vintage cream hats is almost sold out. I think we got a few left. So pull up. $100 is gonna get you free one of these. All right, you spend $200, you're gonna get two of them. Spend $300, you're gonna get three of them. That's how we doing. Pull up. TommyTees.com. Pull up on me. Come get your tickets. And that's where we at with it. Thursday, July 17th. July 17th. Mark that in your calendar. July 17th, Tommy Tees. Shanice presents My Money's Funny. And the comics are going to get a chance to win some money. So depending on who gets the biggest cheers, who does the biggest, you know what I'm saying, who gets the biggest response, they're going to win the bag. You feel me? Tommy Tees, July 17th, BGN performing, man. Pull up on us. Yee. My money's funny, man.
Okay. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. It all helps. See y'all on Friday.
Better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Lil League. Soon at the marina, that's where the Bay meet. Wine in the weed, baby, this world class. Sack to the Bay, you know where you gotta pass. 45-minute to sack a Frisco. True player, never go out like a get low. Knees still working, shoulder still working. Feet working, feet working. I ain't had a job, but I stay working. Put me in the game, producer, I produce. Too much bass in the beat to get through. She treat me like speakers, I got blue. Who am I to say it's the Bay? We in the field. Give up your position, tricking you out your wheel. Thumbing through the cheese, steering with my knees. Business, owner, tax, deeds. Got the keys, open up the doors. Home team, this ours. Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. Blap after blap, plaque the wall. From the field, I shoot high, better behind the arc. Throw a curveball, I'm taking it out the park. 3 home runs in the game, that's Lil League. Soon at the marina, that's where the Bay meet, nigga. Hey. I don't think they heard me. Look, I said I got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Huh? Got so much love in the field, get all the calls. Thought the only thing we got out here was just a mall. Gotta mention us with the at and all. 3067 Travis Boulevard, Fairfield, California. Pull up to the stove.